Homemade sandwich bread needs to be something special to encourage you to walk away from the shop-bought loaf. Look no further than today's recipe. If you liked today's video, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any more of my future uploads. Now, let's get into the recipe. To make one sandwich loaf, you will need 500 grams of strong bread flour, 8 grams of salt, 1 packet of fast action dry yeast, 20 grams of butter, 15 mils or 1 tablespoon of good quality olive oil, 300 mils of warm water. First up, we are going to add all of our dry ingredients to your mixing bowl. I'm going to use my mixer today because life for the 7-month-old is busy enough. Adding the bowl to my stand mixer, it is time for the butter, which I've melted for 30 seconds in the microwave, and our 15 mils of olive oil. There's no rule on how to add this. Just make sure, as always, that you scrape out your containers really well. No ingredients get left behind. Next up, we are going to add our water. And at this point, my mixer is working on a slow speed, and we'll keep it at a slow speed until the dough starts to come together. Once you see the dough hooks start to catch the flour on the sides of the bowl, you can increase to about a medium speed. If you're doing this by hand, do everything the exact same way, just instead of a mixer, you're going to knead the dough against your work surface for about 10 minutes until you create that nice homogeneous ball of dough. So I've left my mixer run on medium speed until the bowl is essentially clean and a nice soft ball of dough has formed. Again, we always make sure to give our dough enough time in the mixer or kneading by hand to develop those gluten strands, which gives us a nice airy loaf with a good elasticity. Once you reach the point where you're happy with your dough, leave it to rise at room temperature until doubled in size. Depending on the temperature of your kitchen, this could take anywhere from an hour and a half to 2.5 hours. But it is true that the slower that your bread develops, the better the flavour will be. So try not to rush the process too much. Once doubled in size, lightly flour your work surface. It's time to shape our sandwich loaf. I'm going for a very rustic oval shape today. To do that, I'm tucking the dough in on itself and then creating tension in the loaf by dragging it gently against the work surface in a diagonal motion. Tuck in the ends and start to create that oval shape, working the dough back and forth until you get a shape that you're happy with. Once you're happy with your shaping, it's time for the second proof. I've pre-floured my baking tray and I'm adding it back to my trusty proving bag for about 40 minutes to an hour until it has all but essentially doubled in size again. At this point, you can preheat your oven to 220 degrees Celsius, and that's a fan oven temperature. And you can also place an empty baking dish at the bottom of your oven, which we're going to use to create steam. We'll get onto that in a second. Once your oven is at temperature and ready to go, I'm going to lightly cover the top of my loaf with water. Just a light sprinkling, nothing too crazy. If you have a spray bottle, that'll work great. And just be very gentle as you do this so as not to knock any of that air out. Then I'm working in a thin layer of that strong bread flour. This will really add to that rustic charm. Then taking a scoring tool or a sharp knife, make 4 slashes in your loaf of about 2 centimeters thick. This will allow some steam to escape and for expansion. Now it's time to bake. And try to be a little bit more careful than I am with this, but the key to a really nice crunchy exterior on this sandwich loaf is to create steam in your oven. Professional bakeries do this really well, but for the home baker, we do this by using a baking tray at the bottom of your oven and about a litre of warm water. Add that to your oven just before it's time to bake and whack in your loaf. After 20 minutes, you can lower the temperature to 200 degrees Celsius and bake for a further 7 to 10 minutes. You want the top of your loaf to be crunchy and golden brown with that fluffy interior. Remove from the oven and leave to cool completely on a wire rack. This bread slicer is probably one of the best kitchen investments we've ever made. I was skeptical at first, but it creates the perfect sized slices for sandwiches, and it's very satisfying to watch. There you have it, guys, a crackly, crunchy crust with a perfectly soft and fluffy interior, exactly what you want for a fabulous sandwich bread. Guys, if you tried today's recipe, let me know in the comment section down below if it worked for you. Let me know what your favorite sandwich fillings are. And before you click away from the video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Also, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on that notification bell so that you don't miss any more of my future uploads. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you back on my channel really soon. Bye!